Hello and welcome back. Sorry, I wasn't on for any post match reaction, but as you might be able to hear and maybe see from my face, I haven't been well. I currently look like Rudolph the Reindeer's little sister at the moment, and I'm hoping to be back feeling better for match day. Obviously, the New Zealand game, it was just really disappointing, but I don't think it was as kind of drastic as it was kind of made out to be. I think a lot of the issues seem pretty fixable, especially with this particular squad. It's very unlikely, or it was very unusual, uh, disappointing performance from them. Andy Farrell, he seemed disappointed, but he seemed pretty positive in the post-match press conference. Again, I think a lot of these issues are fixable, like penalties. 13 penalties for Ireland versus 5 from New Zealand, handling errors 21 from Ireland and 14 from New Zealand. So I think if they go back to try and get the basics right and bringing those penalty numbers down, it should put them in good stead for this week. Attack, didn't see much of the attack really. There's maybe two or three kind of pieces of attack. Most effective being Josh van der Veer's try. They just seem pretty undercooked. Now they're not using that as an excuse. Keane Healy was speaking to the media, and he said they were challenged well in training. They had a team of bibs who were running opposition shapes at them, and he said the prep was really good. And they just can't. He said it's hard to put a finger on what really went wrong in their prep. He also said that Johnny Sexton was in that advisory capacity that he is performing for Ireland. Also, he's due to tie Brian O'Driscoll for Ireland's all-time caps record. Keane Healy's currently on 132 caps, and obviously Brian O'Driscoll's record is 133. The defence was pretty. It's probably the most positive thing for Ireland. They had 153 tackles versus 100 from New Zealand, but the big thing, missed tackles, 30 versus 14 for New Zealand. Obviously, they'll be looking to bring those numbers in terms of penalties and missed tackles and handling errors down for Friday. Ireland haven't lost back-to-back tests at the Aviva since 2013. Does anyone want to hand up a win to Argentina this Friday? One of the standouts from the New Zealand game was Jemison Gibson Park. I know he did give up a few penalties, but he put in some really massive hits. And he's just been really going well, I think, this season. In the URC, 16 carries, 5 clean breaks, 6 defenders beaten, 129 metres gained, and 3 offloads. So I think he was kind of the shining light in a pretty dismal performance from Ireland. So today, Andy Farrell named his team to face Argentina. So the team is as follows: Andrew Porter, Ronan Kelleher, Finlay Bealham, Joe McCarthy, James Ryan, Tyg Byrne, Josh van der Fleer, Caelan Doris as captain. And then the backs: Jemison Gibson Park, Jack Crady, James Lowe, Robbie Henshaw, Gary Ringrose, Matt Hansen, Hugo Keenan. And then the replacements are Rob Herring, Keane Healy, Thomas Clarkson, Ryan Baird, Peter O'Matney, Craig Casey, Sam Prendergast, and Jamie Osborne. So Andy Farr has made one change to the starting lineup, bringing in Robbie Henshaw for Bundy Aki. Then on the bench, he's brought in two uncapped players, Sam Prendergast and Thomas Clarkson for Kieran Frawley and Tom O'Toole. And then he's also brought in Ryan Baird and Craig Casey to replace Ian Henderson and Conor Murray, respectively. Argentina come into this game with 3 wins in their last 5 games. They had a bit of a thumping from South Africa after they had a narrow win over them. They also had a narrow loss against Australia. Their last game out was at the weekend against Italy. They had a 50-18 win over Italy, 7 tries and then 15 points from the Benetton fly half Thomas Albornoz. A man that's no stranger to Ireland, Felipe Contapone, the head coach for Argentina, he came out and said that he's focusing more on the performance than results for his side. He's made 4 changes in total, 3 to the starting lineup. So vice captain Pablo Matera is back. He was suspended for 2 games after the red card against South Africa. Flanker Santiago Grondona, he's dropped to the bench. Guido Pete replaces Franco Molina at lock. Centre Matias Moroni comes in for Matias Orlando. And then Santiago's Carreras is back from injury and he's on the bench. He had a calf injury and he missed the Italy game. With that, Julian Montoya, he is a captain. Then the ref for the Friday night game is New Zealand's Paul Williams. The game is sold out. The IRFU announced that on their socials during the week. Kickoff is at 8:10 p.m. and coverage starts from 7:30 on Virgin Media and TNT1 in the UK. It'll also be on RTE Radio 1, Sports Extra from 8 p.m. and also BBC Sounds, BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra and BBC Radio Foil in the UK. The weather is looking pretty cold. It's 9 degrees, but it's meant to feel colder, and it certainly does feel colder from last week in Dublin. Again, it's saying that there's a 25% chance of rain. It said the same thing last week, and it ended up being pretty drizzly and just damp before the game and during the start of the game. So that could be pretty similar this week. And that's all you need to know ahead of Ireland versus Argentina. I hope you're back with some updates from the captain's run, and obviously keep an eye out for the post match press conference on my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another one.